Good afternoon, everyone. Round 3 of the Guinness Women's Six Nations will conclude today here in Paris. It's another fixture of this year's championship that takes France out of those southern rugby heartlands, having played Ireland in Le Mans, and brings them back to this stadium for the first time in 10 years. Opponents Italy, their Transalpine neighbours in this fixture, always maintaining that European derby feeling. Quite the day yesterday then, England managing 3 tries in hideous conditions against Scotland in Edinburgh, while the sunshine shone on the Irish in Cork, trouncing Wales 36 points to 5 for their first Six Nations win in 2 years. In the table then, well, looking at today, France sits second in the championship table, 2 from 2. Italy buoyed from round 2 by that first ever win in Ireland, men or women, for Italy, taking some confidence with them into this one. It was a lovely mid-20s and sunny day yesterday. It's given way for a slightly cooler day today, more overcast this morning, but it's going to remain dry underfoot. The sun back out shining for these two sides who don't mind a bit of jouet. Now then, our sage win predictor, as you can see, has a 92% suggestion that the French are going to bring this one home. 10 points between the sides when they played each other last year in this championship. Italy did have the beating of France in the build-up to Rugby World Cup. And the dignitaries and special guests all taking their seats. 10 years then since France have played here. It was in fact that Rugby World Cup in 2014 when they claimed bronze medal and 3rd place. England's Red Roses going on to lift the trophy here. Fond memories for former England winger Kat Merchant, who, well, had a little walk down memory lane as she strolled around the neighbourhood yesterday. Good afternoon, Kat. Nice to be back.
Oh, yeah, love it. I couldn't resist. So yesterday I had a little bit of free time and I just wanted to come down and see the stadium and take it all in. But actually being inside it today, seeing all the French flags going, it's just incredible atmosphere. Obviously, personally for me, great memories, but in general, amazing stadium.
Yeah, it is great to see. They've got over 13,000 packed in here. A little squeeze on the shoulder then from Gaël Mignot, head coach, alongside David Ortiz, as the crowd get ready to greet the sides. France have won 13 out of 16 previous Guinness Women's Six Nations matches against Italy, including each of the last 3. Sophia Stefan waits to lead out Italy, but on the right you can see Agathe Socha, the Bordeaux hooker, one of 4 siblings. Her rugby story began when her elder brother wanted to try rugby, and Agathe declared, "So do I." No doubt a wonderful occasion for her on the occasion of her 50th cap, for her family, for wife Adele, and for baby Nina. Also a tip of the hat to Romain Ménager, who brings up her 60th cap, the Montpellier forward. Back to form, having missed WXB. And a few grimaces on the face of the players as they come past the fireworks and out to take their place. The red, white and blue cannons go off into the skies. Italy have never beaten France in France. Not beaten them in the championship since 2019. Confirming those professional contracts not long before the start of the championship. No time for any prejudice then, as we mark the stand against hate in any kind, be that online, on the field, off the field, or in the world we live in. In fact, this week we also saw the first prosecution for online hate at Rugby World Cup of an individual in Australia who sent abusive messages on social media targeting a television match official. So we're serious about the message. And here is another poignant moment. Mark the passing of one of French rugby's greatest players, the epitome of French flair, a man whose career spanned the 50s and 60s, André Boniface, playing alongside often his late brother Guy, who was taken far too young. André made 48 appearances, helping France to the 5 Nations title 4 times. The former Dax and Mont-de-Marsan will be remembered now.
Je vous remercie maintenant de rester debout et de respecter
All right,
les hymnes
it is time
nationaux.
for the
On
anthems. In a
commence
moment,
par
la
l'hymne
Marseillaise, but
national de
first,
l'Italie.
Il Canti
Dear fans,
degli
please rise for the
Italiani.
national anthems. We are starting with the national anthems of Italy. Et maintenant, place à la Marseillaise. And now, la Marseillaise.
Wonderful noise from everybody inside the stadium then, the Stade Jean-Bouin. And this French team under Mignot and Ortiz showing two changes in the pack from the win against Scotland, both in the back row. Gros for Hermé, Escudero for Berthoumieux, with Mané Fellou, a captain on a special day for their whole family, and 50 up for Agathe Sochat. In the back, Bourdon, Sansus and Kerouac continue to steer the ship with just the one change out wide as Melisande Laurence returns from injury to start on the left wing. It's a fourth test match in a row for Vernier and Condé, the midfield pairing. And as for Italy, well, two enforced injury changes in the pack since that win at the RDS a fortnight ago. Silvia Tirani recovers from a concussion, so Gaia Marie starts with Locatelli in for Scorbini in the back row. Hooker, Vittoria Vecchini, a double try scorer last time out. Not bad if she's in your fantasy team. The back line remains unchanged. Stéphane, the captain, alongside Medea in the halfbacks. Emma Stevenin alongside Bea Rigoni in midfield since Sillery was injured in round one. Aramuzzo, another who was on the score sheet against Ireland. And as for that special day for the Fellou family, well, it is, because younger sister Théani is set for her debut for France off the bench. Her presence makes it 5 Grenoble players in a French 23, a new record, a club that Italian fly half Medea will also play at. So France won the toss. We just have the ceremonial kick-off before the actual one will take place. And it's a very special day for that woman. Referee Joy Neville, her last test match in charge, 27 and out. The tributes have come in, including from World Rugby chair Bill Beaumont. Certainly wish Joy an entirely invisible next 80 minutes, which we're sure is all she would want.
What's left on the clock,
Assisted today by England's
Maria?
Hollywood and Maria Heitor of Portugal. 70 tests for Ireland.
Okay, do you know how long
As
is
a
it?
number 8 Grand Slam winner in 2013. Women's Rugby World Cup, 2 as a player, 2 as a referee. And then she was, of course, the first women's official at the Men's Rugby
20
World
seconds.
Cup as a TMO. Trailblazer, should be all over the fibre of that woman there. Going to move on to be World Rugby's elite women's 15s match official head coach.
Okay. Merci.
I think of nobody better for the job. Lina Kewa gets the game underway. First job for Italy is to be hugely met in the tackle. Conde
Use
came
it.
flying up. Italy will go down that short side. France sitting 3rd in the World
Use
Rugby
it.
women's rankings. Italy are 6th. Reminder that a 3rd place finish in this year's Guinness Women's Six Nations guarantees Rugby World Cup qualification. So among the rivalry and everything else we love about this championship, every match is pivotal as we tiptoe past the halfway point. And it's France who are going to try and get going. Tiptoeing into the Italian half. Short side again for Conde. Bourdon Sansus. Ménager bouncing through Maris. So strong, so devastating. Occasion of her 60th cap. Central position. Kewa, the little dink over the middle. That's meant for Vernier, and Vernier's managed to gather beautifully. Super yardage. And they have relatively quick ball to feed away to Sochat. And again they come. Escudero then able to field it off. It's good combination work between Kalfawi and De. France knocking on the door here. They've got absolute numbers out wide if they can make it work. Rigoni's got work to do. She won't stop Conde, and Conde opens the scoring for France. It's an exquisite start to the match in Paris, and Les Bleus on the scoreboard inside 2 minutes.
And this is France at their best. It's what they do so well. Right from the kickoff, that woman there, Conde, would put a massive hit on, like really big chase. They're showing their aggression, but then their offloading ability, once they break through the line, is second to none. They just cannot get tackled. They want to keep the ball alive. They keep going. They then have numbers. They don't panic. They throw in a miss pass. Got numbers. They can see the defence is drifting and might cover. So that dummy and back inside, really clever from Conde there. And there's that little dummy.
Nasira Conde. Her start against England was her first Six Nations match in 4 years. Sticking with her as a 13, Mignot and Ortiz. As you mentioned the team announcement, it is a 4th combination alongside Vernier. They are liking the look of this new midfield, and it's certainly looking like one they're going to stick with. Certainly if the shape is going to deliver that form of attack.
Just so you know,
Lina
it says
Kewa
27 on the big screen. So.
came through an ankle knock midweek. So allowed to be fit. And that will do. France on the board, 7 points to 0.
Yeah, lovely nudge there as well from the sideline, but the confidence as well from Kewa to put that in and behind with that little nudge through, really nice. And then you've got Vernier in the centre who isn't scared to carry, and like she does a strong carry, ties defence in, and then when you've got the gas out wide, they are looking very, very dangerous.
We've seen France score early, fairly often. It does tend to be later in the game they let teams in, and sometimes they can then stutter to rediscover the form that they're capable of putting over the line in the first couple of minutes. So it'll be interesting to see how much they can keep the pedal to the metal. Vittoria Ostuni Manuzzi.
Off the foot, Leon.
Oh, and Italy have lost the ball. It's the penalty to France.
Yeah, they're going to need to, you see here, you hear Joy Neville there saying isolated, and that's the type of picture referees see when you do a good carry, but you do end up getting in and past it. You need your support players there much, much quicker to secure.
Not the greatest touch finder that Emily Boulard will ever have hit.
No, she has a good boot on her, and I would expect more distance, but here's that straight in over the ball for the jackal there. Vernier, like such a strong, we mentioned a strong ball carrying, but actually that as well, over the ball, really important as a centre to be able to do that.
She's an iron nugget, is Gabrielle Vernier. And it's straight down from France, and Bourdon Sans-Souci plays on to Kewa, who will happily send Mariusou Fall over the battlements. Oh, and the gap has opened up here for Vernier, looking for the support on the right. It comes from Socha. She'd have loved there to be someone with a little more wheels than Agathe Socha, but now they can find a bit more room on the right. Escudero tiptoes back away from that side. The captain, Mané Felea. Bourdon Sans-Souci, players coming round the corner, the forwards offering themselves once more. It's Calfaoui and Escudero, and the question's being asked. Oh, it's just been knocked forwards. Bourdon Sans-Souci unable to hold it. We're going to come back for the knock-on. But danger signs again from France, and Vernier, an open door.
Yeah, it's that slight out to in line that she does, which just carves through between the two defenders. And then, yes, it doesn't quite go to hand to Pauline Bourdon Sans-Souci, but the idea that they're playing and they're offloading is slightly higher risk, and you're gonna get lots of tries from it, but you're also gonna get some of those handling errors. But for them, I think the style of flair that they want to play, it's a risk that they're willing to take.
Shout out to all the women out there that still can't understand how Pauline Bourdon Sans-Souci can play with their hair down.
Yeah.
Very, very conscious of the debate. Big scrum. Stéphane did well to get away. It's a fairly stock standard win of the ball. French have a very decent scrum record. They've won all of theirs on their own feed in the championship so far. They've got to get the clearance right here. Stéphane Boulard will take that and fancy the chance to run back, and France were just beginning to stack the numbers down the short side. Weren't quite able to get the distribution as they might have liked it. Felea straight into the tackle of Seay and Fadrighi. Another one of those who plays a rugby in France at Stade Toulousain, Fadrighi. France have got the option to go the same way. It's taken a while for the players to fold around that corner. Bourdon Sans-Souci, Kewa, Vernier winds up the big one. Escudero could have sold the dummy and continued, opted to give the pass, and it wasn't one of her greatest. Interesting to have bumped into the likes of Lene Courson, former French player, who is here working for French radio, chatting to Marie Sempre, who is also working out here. And certainly over the first couple of internationals in this championship, first tests for France, not been entirely convinced of their ability to finish, but certainly there is a lot of positive feeling around what Mignot and Ortiz are trying to do with this side. There are some new processes, new shapes that they're trying to create. What I'm told is they're trying to rediscover the French flair, that they've been a little bit boring the last couple of years, and that they want the players to play, which inevitably will lead to the odd offload going not to hand.
Yeah, and this follows on nicely from Gabrielle Vernier. She posted and said that they're wanting to play with an attacking style, but they have to also have the tactical nous and not just getting carried away with the jouet style of rugby. So they've got one eye on keeping tactical good decision making, but one of the criticisms that France have faced is that they're not as ruthless as killing off teams. They win games and they look good doing it, but there's more in the tank for this team.
Well, they're going to need to step it up a notch or two, certainly in time for that match in Bordeaux in a couple of weeks against the Red Roses. But back to matters in hand. It's Italy who make the box kick clearance.
Yeah, I think they'll be quite happy with an exit from that to settle down after France very nearly getting a second score very early on. So to just play sensibly, exit. I did think they were going to try and run it out there 22 for a worrying second, but they managed to get settled and get the box in place.
Susha. Movement in the line out. They go to the tail. Filea. Kewa along the middle for Vernier. Lovely passing.
Through the gap, Leon.
Bourdon-Sansus. That has just cut right away from the touchline. And it's going to go dead in goal.
So option. 22 or scrum?
So there we go.
Captain.
Just allowing Joy Neville to call the option.
Scrum. 22. What do you want? Scrum. Scrum.
So it's obviously a scrum from where the ball was kicked, or it's a 22 dropout. And we can see there so far in the first nearly 9.5 minutes, France with the lion's share of possession. As you say, they've had the most territory and possession. In fact, over the course of the championship after round 2 leading into this weekend. Italy, conversely, the least.
Long bind and feet under. Okay.
Italy certainly found their feet against Ireland in Dublin, but week before against the Red Roses, they really struggled. Didn't really threaten the English line at all in that game, so they almost have a bit of a mental block in terms of when they play the top 2 teams in this championship about perhaps almost allowing themselves the opportunity to strike.
Yeah, I wonder, because that England performance when Italy were against them was the worst I've seen Italy play in many years. They really just didn't show up. Now they looked much better against Ireland because they just backed themselves. You know, you see wingers like Tinker making, like, I think it was an 80-metre line break that she made, beating 3 defenders on the way, and that's what they need to do against top teams as well. Have the confidence to still get the ball to those players in those creating those opportunities.
85th cap for Sophia Stefan. So much movement in that scrum before she's even got the ball in.
Okay. Stability until the ball comes in. Okay. Wait, faster.
Stability, the word of the moment there, I think, but she also wants Stefan to not hang around. No Silvia Tirani in the front row for Italy. She got a bit of a head knock against Ireland. She's actually passed all of the tests, but she advised Giovanni Ranieri, the coach, that she wasn't quite ready to step back. And, well, in this day and age, you admire a player that says, I'm not quite feeling it. Continue to sit me out for a while. Penalty goes the way of Italy.
You're okay, but she's rolled.
Bourdon-Sansus was the one pinged, despite the solid efforts of Escudero to get over that ball.
Yeah, Escudero would have been awarded there, I think, with the turnover, because she was in a really good position to jackal, but it was actually, as you said, Pauline, Bourdon-Sansus didn't roll away on the initial tackle, which means Italy have the penalty, and now they're a nice kick into the 22, so they can be their first properly bit of possession. So it's a great shot going in there. As well, and a good carry here. You can see it. Pauline, she's stuck, she's trapped, she's trying to roll, but she does affect the speed of the ball there, so rightly so, penalty given.
Courage to roll east to west on the rugby field, not north to south. Not sure she rolled anywhere. Bikini. That one's in. It's going to be a fair old way for them to rumble this one, but it's back with Ilaria Arrighetti, and the Italians are getting some decent change out of the French pack here, but oh dear. It was knocked on in the process of them going forwards.
Yeah, they seem to really click there, because that's some French pack, and it takes a lot of going to get them rolling backwards. So thought initially the line out was good. They get organised in there. And I didn't spot it in the live, seeing the knock-on happen, so I'm really looking at, okay, there we go. So as it's dropped, it's initially dropped back, but as she tries to pick it up, it just goes forward. So good spot from the referee there.
Frustrating one for Italy, as you say. It was looking good.
And that's it, it's the basics, isn't it? When you get an opportunity like that, that's one they need to put away. And their own error has now put them back under pressure.
We may talk a little later, Cat Merchant, about the success rate on entries to the 22, particularly where France are concerned. But that is certainly one where Italy have let it go away. Fellaia will carry. Pardon Sansus. Kewa got right under that. Ostuni Manuzzi in the sunshine. Did well. Italy almost managing to trap Emmeline Gros. And now we've got a penalty advantage as Medea sent it away. It was just not held by Dinka. We had a penalty advantage, could be an opportunity, perhaps for Rigoni to consider a shot at the sticks. Or will Italy look for any more, having seen the potential success of their maul a moment ago?
Yeah, just tactically looking position-wise of where they're on the pitch, and I think they'll go for corner here. Yeah, there you go. Rigoni stepping up straight away, confidently to go for it, because, you know, the line out itself was successful, the drive was successful. It was just a handling error that let them down. But here's the high shot coming in. So I think it was touch judge who spotted it, fed it in. They played with advantage, no advantage, come back.
Vicchini. 2 tries from rolling mauls against Ireland. Just waiting for Guy Maurice to do up her shoelaces.
But that was a good nudge as well, because it's so important. That 5-metre channel is exactly where you want to get it, as close as you can to that, to give yourself the best chance, because even if there's a slight hesitation from France, they don't quite get their defence in set early enough. Once that gets rolling, it's very difficult to stop over such a short distance.
Okay, time out, please.
It's where relationships between forwards and backs never get any closer, as if your backs can put you in this sort of position. And the forwards will say, all right, you've done what you could. What can we do? Oh, well, it's had to be tapped down from the top, which wouldn't have been the game plan. Stevanen was well met.
Stay.
Good solid collision from Vicchini. Oh, and then the good take from Tunisi, bouncing straight up off the floor. Medea. Rigoni with the 13 on the back this time. It's a chip through. No one was really on the same page there. That ball's a little bit loose, though. And what might this present for Stefan? Just comes forwards.
No, stay. Tap.
Clear out is there. Played away by Locatelli.
Bench, play on. Stay.
Rigoni deputises as scrum half. Off to the left they go. Italy with Duca. Medea is there. Looks for the option, chips it forwards for herself. Bourdon Sansus. Very happy to just take the mark, and now we'll tap and go, and France are on the rampage. Out of the 22, up to the right. Muzzo required to put in the tackle as Boulard shrugs away Saraseye. France up to the halfway line. Oh, Italy get the turnover.
Insane decision for Italy, though, to put 2 kicks in when they're 5 metres away from the French try line, especially when you see what the French do from their own 22. Like, they ran that out. Yes, OK, they got themselves against the penalty there, but the quick decision-making there for Bourdon Sansus, and it's how quickly they get to her as well. It's those 2 passes, the cover tackle comes in, but not enough. Offloading back, but I think Italy just needs to keep ball in hand there, because you called it, you said not sure everyone was on the same page, and the difference was when Kewa did it earlier, all of France were chasing it. So it's only as good as its chase, and Italy, it looked a little bit more random.
Yeah, if you're not on the front foot, right in line with the kicker as that ball's leaving the boot, you're not giving yourself the best chance, are you? And twice there, the rest of the Italy team were not in line with their kicker.
Yeah, more of a kick and hope rather than a tactical, right, everyone knows this is happening, get chasing it.
Straight off the scrum, Stefan, it's training ground move that's worked nicely to send Muzzo into the heart of the French 22. And it's popped up for Tunisi, into Ménager.
Step.
Duca thought momentarily, I think, about Just trying to latch onto that and drive forwards. Locatelli with the little dummy. Got ever closer there. Ilario Arrighetti, another one of those who plays her rugby in France at Rennes. Escudero trying to get the turnover. The referee's happy enough, but it's now back with Italy. Stefan almost saw the excitement of the 4-on-2, but it's got to go through the hands from an Italian perspective, making it too easy for that French defence to cover. Back in the hands of Giordana Duca, the Valsugana Padova rugby player. Then for Maris, in for Turani, just short of that 5-metre line. Continuing to pick and go. Referee tells Ménager not to move from the position, or she might be in more of a problematic place. Stefan.
No material effect.
Picked half into the retiring Escudero, but Joy Neville was happy that Escudero was not causing an effect. France might be in and turning this over. They are. Celebrations told you, didn't they? Straight in.
The offences. 8 is off feet and holding. 8 off feet and holding.
Penalty against Arrighetti.
Yeah, Arrighetti going off feet there, desperately trying to secure it, but that's 2 that France turned over in that 5-metre. Escudero did it earlier. She got her hands in, she got the jackal. Now, somehow Italy did get it back. I think as the ball bounced out, they must have been quickest onto it, but that's what France are really trying to do defensively.
Rigoni's kept this in, or has she? No. Flag has gone up from the assistant referee.
So here's the offbeat. Yeah, so it looked like she was in at the wrong angle initially, but I think there was a fight over the ball, but then if you collapse over it, you're not giving a fair chance to compete at the breakdown.
Kalfawi, I think it was.
Thank you. I think it's on the sideline as well.
Italy win that one. Stefan thinks about winding it up, but had the interloping Anael Da'e, who was ready to put a hand in the way, so sensibly decided to just take it forward. Maris in the spring sunshine in Paris as Italy carry again into France. Gros got over that one, but was unable to get the ball. Quick hands from Stevenin, and then Rigoni. It was knocked down by Kewa. What will it be seen as? Rigoni certainly trying to influence Joy Neville's decision. And it is a penalty for the deliberate knockdown.
Deliberate, be very careful, deliberate.
Yeah, so the key thing in this is whether Kewa decides that she's going 2 hands for it and she's trying to genuinely make an attempt to catch it, or whether it's 1 hand and it's putting it down, in which case it's cynical and obviously a penalty. We did see Italy actually penalised for it against Ireland and actually led to the yellow card. So here's a good angle for it. So yeah, it's a 1 hand out attempt. There's cover out there, so it'll be no more than that, but yeah. Right call.
Yeah, Joy Neville there confirming she's happy having seen it, and in conversation with Leo Colgan, our TMO.
No, sorry, I can't. Just when you speak to me.
And after we've had a couple of penalty kicks into the corner for France, for Italy, sorry, we've now got Bea Rigoni deciding that this might be just the time to try and put Italy on the board. Sailing through, flags are raised. France 7, Italy 3 after 21 minutes in Paris.
And really, really important for Italy to come away with points, because they've actually, the territory at the start of the game was very much in France's favour, but Italy have had good possessions, they've been in scoring positions, they've either been turned over or they've made errors, so to actually come away with that and now a 7-3 point game, they could be pretty happy with that.
Giovanni Ranemi, Francesco Iannucci, Plinio Scamana. Someone could do with telling him he's on camera next time, couldn't they? Veronica Medea. The turnover's been made. It was actually Bikini who took it and was then isolated and turned over. And Anael Da'e in clear water, struggling for the last metre and getting the try. Sensational score from the French loose head. That'll be 100 metres by the time she's in the bar this evening. France get their second try.
To be fair, though, to Ndiaye there, like the initial line to go over, so there's the turnover. Condé, the one to steal it, really, really good. And not just steal it, but actually manages it to offload it as she's going to ground. And then that offload there, that's a good run. It is outside the 22. She's got two players on her, gets tackled short. She's allowed to place the ball, so that's how she goes forward to score it. But that's a really good finish. And yeah, just excellent work. So much power to drag two players with you 5 metres and able to score. Excellent.
Toot toot, runaway train in Paris.
I mean, as a back, it's not what you want to see, is it? A prop running full pelt at you. Like, it's quite a terrifying sight, I imagine.
Prayers with Ostuni Minuzzi.
But that's all France from a turnover. Like, a turnover like that, they all react, they score. Italy spent close to 10 minutes in that French 22 for them to come away with 3 points. France get a sniff, turnover, they score within 30 seconds of being there.
Yeah, their scoring record then, we can bring in that stat about the visits to the 22, because they got just over 2 points per visit against Ireland. But it was just 1 point per visit against Scotland. They scored just the 15 points in that one. And, well, as our colleague Claire Thomas said in her written piece, just so that you know, 1 point per visit is terrible. So just as a bit of context, England, the Red Roses, averaging over 3 points per visit going into this weekend. So France will be pretty pleased that they are upping that average with a couple of visits they've had and a couple of tries they've got on the board.
Okay. Yeah, if you haven't read that article, go read it. It's very, very funny and is good. But definitely, I was smiling as I was reading it.
Crouch. Find. Set.
Stevenin. Good service out from the scrum. Medea on the run around from Stevenin. Vittoria. Ostuni Minuzzi just getting through. Oh, it's just gone forwards. It looked good as she tried to find Dinker. It just got a little bit sticky, didn't it? But that was a lovely move, and it certainly had the French defence in disarray momentarily.
Yeah, I wondered if it needed to go here, though, because it is a slight half gap, and she does go through and manages to get the offload, but potentially could she have given the pass earlier on the outside, where there was a little bit more space, and France would have had to have done a little bit more work to get across. That's what I'd be thinking in that.
Certainly asked a big question of Condé defensively there, who was a little short of finding Ostuni Minuzzi.
Well, Condé's a flyer, isn't she? She wants to go up, she wants to make the hit. So tempting her and going around the outside, good tactic as well.
Find. Set.
Stefan, over 50 Six Nations Championship appearances for the Italian scrum half as Vernier feeds it across. Boulard with the left foot. Ostuni Minuzzi was on the other side of the field as that one started, so she's got some work to do, and she wants to get away from Boulard and just manages to do so up to the halfway. Italy could have some numbers here if they can shift it along. Rigoni shaping whether she's going to kick, trying to ask the questions of Condé, and then bounces back to her feet and straight through the French outside centre, but it's the French inside centre who characteristically is doing the job again. Gabrielle Vernier, straight in, immovable, France penalty.
Yeah, you just can't win when Vernier is near you in defence, because she's either going to put in a big shot if she's the tackler, or if she's not and she's the closest, she is just over that ball straight away. So anytime Italy are making a line break and getting in behind, there's 2-3 French players who are over trying to go for that jackal. So here's the initial carry from Rigoni. She does really well to roll, stay on, bounce back up onto her feet, but then you can see, yeah, Vernier getting under nice and quickly. Good body shape, never going to clear her from there. Good steal.
What I admire about Vernier as well, she's not one of those players who goes in and just locks on and waits for the penalty. She goes in and wrestles for the ball, yeah, because she just wants her back line to get possession and play.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference. If you're actually trying to steal the ball to play or trying to get a penalty, she wants the ball.
Bourdon Sansus gets the first warning from the referee that the maul's slow enough that it may need to be used, and now it will be. She finds Vernier. Oh, he's not found. Kewa behind her. And Kewa juggles it backwards a little further and is losing metres here.
Tackle, release 10.
Big penalty shout.
Otto. 8.
I think it's gone against Arrighetti.
So I think Joy Neville there is saying the tackle had been made because the knee hit the floor, I think was what the demo was saying. So tackler has to release, and she didn't quick enough.
DHA ripped and the knee was down. DHA, okay.
Joy Neville using her best bits of Italian to communicate with Giovanni Raineri's side. This is the sort of position the French love to get this training ground attack going. Full stretch right at the tail.
15.
Super leap as it grew, and now it's really going forwards. Italy clearly pulling that down, conceding the penalty advantage to begin with. Les Bleus the option to continue playing. Ménager.
Dominant tackle, play on.
Good dump tackle.
Advantage for Claps.
So sharp for Vernier. So similar in stature, but so different as players. Felia. Italy rip it, but we'll come back for the pen.
6.
Well, I think.
6.
Yeah, Joy Neville's going to the pocket here.
6. It's travelling at speed. It's a clear collapse.
Sale Sharks. Flanker Sarah Tunasi. Going to spend 10 minutes in the sin bin. It was pretty clear as well, that initial camera position as we were watching, you could just see her leaning and using her body weight to bring down that maul when it was at full tilt.
Yeah, collapsed illegally, and you know, because that was really going some for France, so she's taking the card for her team there. And interestingly then, when France were playing with advantage, Marine Ménager over on the right wing was really waving her hand. She wanted that cross-field kick, she had such width, but here's the angle to see that obviously France are really loading it, and you can see now she's pulling, her body weight is pulling down, she is twisting around, so clearly collapsed that one intentionally.
From 5 metres out, France go to the tail once more. Italy get a really good counter shove, but now France use the ball, breaking to the left. But now options to the right. Driving forwards through Kalfawi, and quick ball, Escudero over the line. Back in the starting 6 shirt, having been on the bench against Scotland. And Charlotte Escudero scores France's 3rd try. And the tricolour wave in Paris.
Yeah, she's been really good today. It feels like she's been everywhere in the breakdowns, getting her hands in on it. But this all started from a really, really solid line out for France. They've had a few where they've hit the tail nicely, and then it's the run-in line there. And that's, you know, I think Italy are going to be a little disappointed. It's a good run-in line, definitely, but with 2 tacklers there, you're going to want to hit her back or at least get under the ball for that.
It's not a French test match, unless the band are in attendance. Kewa, who is 2 from 2. Interesting, there's no second row cover on the bench today, so the likes of Escudero or Ménager could be called in if the likes of Felia or Fall have to make way, but they are 2 players that can fulfill the full 80 minutes, but in the meantime, it's 7 points scored with Italy down to 14. France now chasing that 4th try on the bonus point with time left in this first 40 minutes.
And it's speed of ball as well, because France haven't had the quickest speed of ball when they look at it across the tournament by any means, but that was a really good carry, and then quick ball off it, and again another carry for a score. So maybe they've spoken about that and they're wanting to speed that ball up from breakdowns.
Beatrice Cicce Rigoni playing her rugby in England now, of course. Sale Sharks' 50th Guinness Six Nations Championship match. That was not well held from Ilaria Arrighetti, but it was already in touch. Elisa Giordano has travelled with the Italy team. She was actually out running. Was out in her kit having a little run around earlier. She's not involved today. Arrighetti wearing the number 8 shirt. Played against Ireland, but her previous last test was actually 2 years before that against the USA. She's an Italian teacher in Brittany, but it's the French themselves who are enjoying the run of things here. And Ménager getting on the outside of Rigoni. Can Rigoni stay in the fight long enough? She can, to bring down the French number 8. But it's decent ball for Bourdon sans Sousse. Oh, it was a low one. Not the easiest for De to take. Now, French are calling rapidly the defensive line to get in place over on that left side as we look. The Italian right.
Yes. Ball is out.
Italy inside their 22. Pop it up for Maurice, who sends it on for Seye. Edge of the 22. They've got to decide now whether they are going to continue the run out of here or if it's going to be clearance time. It's going to be the box kick. Chases on. Dinker's there. Didn't challenge. Super footwork. Kewa showing that sevens ability. But the offload over the top wasn't good enough. It's just found Fedrighi. Medea. Italy sensing a chance to go. Stevanin. Rigoni. Oh, that might just work out from Muzzo. Referee happy it went backwards, but the cover tackle from Conde was one that said, not on my life.
Yeah, absolutely. She lined her up there and really wanted to get that cover and across. But here's the initials. Dinka goes up, but a bit half-hearted. I'd say it wasn't an aggressive like my ball. And then unfortunately, if you just send one player to defend and you don't get it, then that's going to happen. You need to send 2 in behind to see what happens just in case. Either she taps it back or misses it, but you've got to have that secondary layer of chase, which Italy did not have there.
It was the point that we made actually in Parma watching Italy against England, is that there were a lot of box kicks that Elisa Dinker was right underneath, but at no point really was going up for the ball, just waiting for the opponent to come down with it or looking to do something. It does seem curious that they're actually affecting, at times, Italy, a really solid kick chase, but Dinker not fancying the aerial battle. She is going to have to be involved defensively here as she puts the shot in on Boulard, who gets the ball away inside for Bourdon sans Sousse, and then Kewa, Felea, on for Madoussou Fall.
Now, off your feet, leave it. Off your feet.
Bourdon sans Sousse, Kewa. Low drive initially. Good from Day. Short side again. Not too many options, but they're quite happy to find Ménager, who had Gros with her. They were just running out of room to operate, but the applause from Bourdon sans Sousse is enough to say we're happy enough with that.
Yeah, and good cover tackle as well as cross, because that's the thing, Italy are working hard in defence. They're making France have to go out, but that's another great ball carry from De. Like, it's just forcing so many defensive players to come in. So initial missed tackle, but then good shot in there. But then, yeah, couldn't quite take the offloads.
Sarah Seye, Evening Trail Finders, former Wasp. Made her debut in the championship against Scotland 3 years ago, earning a 21st cap for Italy. See Emmeline Gros comes into the 7 shirt for Gaëlle Armé, who takes that position on the bench. They also have Théani Felea there. There's a little look at the carries, fairly even, but look at the difference in metres. 313 for France to 232 for Italy, and those 5 line breaks to nothing just shows the effectiveness of that attack, doesn't it, Kat Merchant?
It's the line breaks for me. That's a really, really clear one in there. France are really making their carries count, and they're making those meters, because actually slightly surprised by those stats. You would have assumed France had made more, but that was actually pretty close. But what they've done is they've made more of those carries.
Vicchini from Rovigo, as is Emma Stefanin. They now both play at Valsugana. Well, they've won a couple of Italian titles, but that one's not gone right. And it's there for Calfaoui. France 3 metres out now. They're going to go close quarters and drive. Felia in there trying to help it go forwards once more. Bourdon Sansus, crossfield kick from Kewa is looking for Laurence. Who will score? Back from time with France sevens and from injury. Last Six Nations appearance against England 351 days ago. And Mélissa Laurence will get all the congratulations from her teammates. It's France's 4th try and the bonus score. And it was all from the dominance of the forwards once more, having stolen the line out.
Yeah, so a really costly overthrow for Italy, and France just reacted so well to it. There's 2 numbers out there, and Billard as well was there, but Laurence is the one that gets it, but it's a nicely weighted nudge. You could say maybe he wanted 5 metres on it, but actually she's done really, really well, gather and score.
Mercy.
And crossfields are always one of those that they're a much more difficult skill than they look like. So when you've got all the time in the world, that's actually when they're harder, because you're not running onto them full pelt. You haven't just got to do what's there. You've got so much time to stand and think about it. So kept her cool, composed, did what she needed to do.
Kewa, by far, trickiest effort of the day. That one will not quite get there. It'll remain 3 out of 4. But France up to 26. And it was well taken.
Yeah, a nice take, and then just that hold. Is she going to step in? Is she going to go on the outside? Still has a bit of movement because there is cover defence coming across there. But the dangerous thing now for Italy is that France, they've come through the middle, they've gone around the outside, they've done a crossfield kick. They really have to, it's really questioning that defence in so many different ways.
Rigoni sends it to the 22. Foul. Just let it go over her head to begin with, but
Time.
still a really solid run. Could take from Stefan. Trying to be held up by a combination of De and it's been ripped away. Long one over the top. Condé. Boulard arriving on the shoulder just in time, and Boulard puts the boot to it. Dinka has to track back and get hold of this, and is now going to try and find some space herself. Elisa Dinka from outside, from underneath her own posts. Did well. Certainly given the chase that was on. Clock ticking towards the half-time mark. Stefan, option for the box kick here. Oh, that was a big collision. Mutso's certainly been taken out in that. 2 players looking for the ball, just a rugby incident. And you hear the referee say it was just a good contest, but France will continue to play. Kewa. Dummy runner was Escudero, might just open up for Kewa, but there was some crossing in midfield. And while Stade Jean-Bouin will try and celebrate the score, I think it was more people getting in each other's way, but it certainly affected the play, and will certainly have to come back for the penalty. In the meantime, Aramuzzo is still getting some attention on the far side.
I just checking your player, okay? Time off.
It will be a penalty to Italy. You can see our clock is in the red.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Leo.
Both sides, even though the clock was in the red, they got told it was both did box kicks to keep it in. So they're both really still wanting to play.
Yeah, it was good competition for me. Yeah. Okay.
Was just 2 players arriving at the ball at the right time. Marine Ménager just beating Mutso to the race, but that's the sort of competition that perhaps I was talking about with Dinka on the other side that we've not seen too much of. But perhaps if she's seen what happens to Aramuzzo, she might continue to avoid competing.
Yeah, well, I think that one was just both were running full pelt. Neither went fully up in the air. They were both looking at the ball, and it was just a collision.
Well, Beatrice Rigoni decides that a quick tap and sending it into the stands will round off that first half. France managing to score those 4 tries. Condé, De Haye, Escudero and Laurence all on the scoreboard. Italy may have come to Paris on Friday, but they've really yet to show up in the Stade Jean Bouin. Half-time, it's France 26, Italy 3.
Chers supporters, le stade Jean-Bouin, c'est la maison du rugby parisien. Dès la semaine prochaine, c'est le retour du top 14 avec le choc Stade français Paris contre Bayonne le samedi 20 avril à 17h. Les Parisiens sont leaders du classement, c'est le bon moment pour venir les soutenir. De nombreuses animations autour du Pays Basque sont prévues, alors venez nombreux en profiter. Plus d'infos sur billetterie.stade.fr. Allez, on continue sur cette belle ambiance avec la Dance Cam DJ RTL2 est là pour nous chauffer les tribunes et pour nous mettre.
Sinon, on avait pris le réchauffement avant. On y va.
4 tries on the board in the first half for France. Very decent performance, and we can see the replacements who will no doubt have a word to say. Delighted to say that we still have Kat Merchant alongside with us. And, well, Kat, we were just saying off-air to each other a moment ago that this French side, and the stats back it up, are not necessarily great at pushing through that final quarter. They need those players off the bench in the build-up to what so far is looking like a big showdown with England in Bordeaux to show that they can play and push through and, unfortunately for where Italy might be concerned, continue to put teams away.
Absolutely, it's the ruthlessness that they need, and it's the ruthlessness that England have. They, you know, they might be 30 points clear, and they still want more. They want 50. They want, you know, they're really chasing. And France, historically, have done well, and then once they know they've won, they sort of ease off rather than put to pedal even more. So, yeah, it might be a long day for Italy if France do what we want of them, but that's what they need to do when you're looking at England for potentially Grand Slam decider, but also looking at World Cup, like looking at those teams that they're going to have to put away.
A couple of the stats that we saw at half-time. Asha Kalfawi, top of the carries. Personally thought she was a little unlucky not to get player of the match against Ireland in that opening match in Le Mans. That one went to Madisou Fall, who was not too handy herself. But we also saw that Charlotte Escudero has put in 15 tackles over the course of that first 40 minutes, which is an extraordinary stat.
Yeah, that's just crazy numbers, and I appreciate I'm a wing, so I can't possibly understand that in the course of a season, let alone 40 minutes. But yeah, no, but she has been everywhere. She's been making jackals, doing tackles, making line breaks. It seems like there's two of her out there.
Well, the final 40 minutes for Joy Neville as a test referee.
You go left or right?
And 40 minutes for Italy to fire more of a shot than they managed in that first half. 26-3. As we resume in the Stade Jean-Bouin, home of that Rugby World Cup win for England's Red Roses in 2014. Kat Merchant, a key part of that side, alongside us as we watch on. Sarah Tunesi did get the yellow card towards the end of that first half. Italy back up to that full complement as Vittoria Vicchini gets the call from Maurice. Another one of those who plays in France. That's Euro number 200. Maurice, but it's come back on the French side, and Kewa has to wait for the ball from Bourdon Sansus. Menage swatting down Veronica Medea.
Ball's available.
Bourdon Sansus delivered that one almost a little bit short of Kewa once more. Mutso over the knock she received in the first half from the aerial challenge and threads a nice line through up to the 10-metre line. Vernier unable to get over that one, but she's certainly got over plenty in the first half. Stéphane Medea, lovely ball back inside. Sayek running onto the shoulder. It was nice offload work from Tunesi, who dummied the first one and then delivered the second. Medea just wanting to bisect Kewa and Boulard, but Kewa did superbly to take that on the fingertips and sends it into a bit of midfield space, which Boulard is chasing. Medea, though, Oh, just stutters and gets away from Boulard. Oh, at the ball. As Joy Neville tried to stay out of the way, was just knocked on. And again, it's just one of those moments, Cat Merchant, where it's not quite all joined up.
Yeah, they started to build though, and what they've done, which is a lot smarter than the first half, is they're putting more numbers into their breakdown because France were getting far too many turnovers. Italy have recognised that, and they are making sure they're putting numbers in there. So yeah, there you can see it, 7 turnovers, 1 from France. So Italy had to do something about it. They're putting more numbers in, but they're almost going from side to side, whereas they need some go forward just to give them a good platform. That handoff from Romain Ménager. Talk about hybrid athletes. Like, you know, you're talking about her potentially covering second row. You could put her in the backs. Like, she's so fast, she's savage.
She has got a player that looks quite like her in the backs, of course, in Marine Ménager.
Yes, yes.
The twin sister. I do love the fact that we have the Ménager twins, and if you've got 2 players that are ultimately identical, and say, right, we're going to shape one of you as a pretty menacing forward and one of you as a pretty devastating back. Yep, okay, that'll work.
Yeah, definitely. And this, yeah, not what Italy, you can see the pointing going, yeah, they've brought that down.
Yeah, France taking the penalty then and kicking it into the corner. Early danger signs for the Azzurri as France come in. Susha, who is so often at the back of these rolling mauls and scoring tries, on her 50th appearance. It's Escudero, just short. France are going to try and reload again.
Feedback.
Bourdon Sansus, or have they got there? Joy Neville is just going to be asking the question as Kalfaoui goes over, but I wonder whether she was in front of where the ball was. Let's listen in.
So I eventually have a grounding. So on-field decisions will be tried, but I just want to make sure it's not double movement. So,
oh, we're actually looking at a double movement here.
Do you have me? Yes, Joy. So we do have an on-field decision is try. We see the ball being grounded. However, I just want to make sure there wasn't a double movement by the blue player.
Okay, sure. On-field decision try, checking for a double movement. Stand by.
Thank you.
So double movement, the area of focus.
Here's the first angle.
The question is whether she was tackled short and then propels.
The
So knees
initial
down.
held up tackle coming in.
It's because she half loses her footing and almost loses the ball and then goes for the score. Not sure that's going to be the angle to show us. Ménager it is who's resisted first.
Yeah, so the initial carry here does well, keep the ball, and then it's the
No,
pick
don't
up.
worry about that. So far I'm not seeing double movement.
Can't see anything in a double
you're right.
movement.
Yeah,
See,
I agree,
knees down,
Joy.
no double movement. Can award the try. Thank
I
you.
agree.
Try scored. No one more deserving given the effort that she puts in as well up front. Assia Kalfaoui gets France's 5th, and they're over the 30-point mark.
I think maybe the reason they looked at it was just looked a little awkward, didn't it? There was players in place like trying to get round them, but actually, yeah, no double movement there at all. Just that carry over, but she's doing a good shift today.
Rose Bernadou, one of those who has been in the French squad. She's been injured though. Last played against England at Twickenham. Kalfaoui has been performing really well. 21st cap today. Didn't feature in the Rugby World Cup perhaps as much as we expected. She's been scoring tries as well in the Elite 6 over the course of the season, and she's got one for France.
And that's it. You've got to take your opportunities when great players are injured, and then you're given your first chance. You've just got to take that, go with it, and go, okay, now it's my shirt. You've got to take it back off me.
Okay, well, decided to create a bit of jeopardy in the left-hand upright, but it does pop through the posts. All the frees, 33 points to 3.
Is it rugby or is it bingo? What's going on?
Whatever you fancy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, 4 out of 5. That's Rigoni. Grow. Decent from Emmeline Gros, one of the 5 Grenoble players in this French side. There's another one of them in the captain Mané Fellaia, but it was a good defensive hit from Italy. Ball over from Bourdon-Sans-Souce. Oh, it's all over the place for Muzzo. Did she gather it without knocking it on? No, she didn't. Oh, and the way the ball moves on these artificial pitches as well is even more of a challenge.
Well, it's just really difficult to predict, and she lost her footing, and actually the annoying thing for her was she had more time. You can see her foot sort of goes from underneath her. She could have weighted that one, but it just goes forward off her hands, but really slight.
Max Guazzini, owner of, or former owner of Stade Francais, of course, Stade Jambois, the home of Stade Francais, where we are.
Bind! Set!
Ménager off the back for Bourdon-Sans-Souce. Put the kick in before being taken out in the tackle. Didn't come to too much, but they'll quite happily send Italy back towards their try line.
Well, their success rate in the line-out for Italy hasn't been that high, and France have come away with a few of them. So actually, this is lower risk because they might as well get it back.
And it is another win from France. They've stolen that Italian line out, and now Escudero thundering into midfield. Bourdon-Sans-Souce leaves it back inside for Marine Ménager, who knew she was getting that one. Kewa pulls away to the left. Oh. Ended up going to Fellaia.
Thank you.
Not the tidiest. I think the French, just down below our commentary position, might be considering the first change or two.
So looking at this, I mean, it's a netball pass across, but they are trying things and they want to get the ball into space. But I think it's important to stay clinical if they do want to pull away and as we mentioned, be that ruthlessness of building on scores.
Definitely a chuck, I think.
Yes, yeah.
Fekini.
Make sure you keep your head.
Player of the match against Ireland.
Thank you.
With those couple of tries that we talked about. Studying to be a veterinary assistant.
Okay. Okay.
As the French.
It's
Romain Ménager seems to be the most vocal in that pack of 8 as they get ready. Italy will hope for a little bit more luck on their own ball at scrum time.
Bind!
It's an Italy team that were second at WXV2, having won all 3 games against Japan, South Africa and the USA. Scotland managing to win on points difference. But it was, as it's intended to be, the new global competition. Great experience for them. And to get victories on the board.
Crouch!
3rd place in the Guinness Women's Six Nations goes into WXV1 and guarantees qualification to the Rugby World Cup, which is tantalisingly only about 16 months away now.
Ladies,
Joy Neville's just going to have a little look.
Better height, longer bind from you and better height, okay?
There we go.
I'm going to be upping my sanction now. We need to see the ball out.
Okay.
Warning given.
Better? Better?
We may not just be looking at resets here, it might be penalties.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Up, up, up!
Stefan. Good Italian scrum. Good take from Rigoni as well, not the easiest from partner Medea. Tunesi
Yes, ball up.
Maris. Stefan pointing to the left. There's no one really there ready to carry. Tunasi was a little flat-footed, wants to get that offload away over the top. Menage trying to argue that she knocked it back. Might have a case, but Italian penalty.
Yeah, I still think going for something one hand to block a pass is going to be a penalty always. So it just doesn't look right. Referee's right in line with it. It's going to be a penalty against. But Italy are really trying to force those passes. It's almost inviting France to get in between it.
Okay.
Isabella Locatelli, the Colorno prop. 49th cap. She'll be hoping to bring up 50 next week. No Francesca Scorbini, who took a bit of a bump to the face last week.
Down the line, if you take a step.
So yeah, there's the one-hand attempt from Marine Menage there. Never really in a position to be able to catch it, so he's just stopping Italy from playing. But
Substitution, let's go.
Italy
Let's
really
go.
need to get something from this
Number one,
line out.
please.
They've lost far too many.
Thank you.
Going to be a couple of changes then. Ambra, Moyembe, another one of the Grenoble stable who will come on and shore up the front row. And you could see Pauline Bourdon-Sansus making way for another Alexandra Chambon. This is a good drive in the maul from Italy.
Out.
And there's a breakaway.
Out, out. Away. Same all. Advantage, entry. What number is that?
Italy get penalty advantage as it rumbles over the 22.
Entry.
Look at it, still going. The
Use
French
it.
having to break away. Now they're given a chance to use it. Stefan with the chip over the top. There was nothing much on. Oh, and it's bounced off the upright. And Italy.
Knocked on.
Oh, I thought for a moment Rigoni was going to pull off something extraordinary,
17.
but didn't quite fall. Again, though, Cat
17,
Merchant, I mean, I
change
know
mind.
Italy had penalty advantage, but Stefan put the kick in, nobody in line.
Yeah, and it's a bit long. There's 4 French players there. There's only one. It's only Rigoni chasing, and yes, it becomes nearly. Actually, something does come off it because it hits the post. But in general, just because you have advantage doesn't mean kick the ball away and hope. If it's on and someone's there, great. But otherwise, just play through your phases, because if you don't get an advantage from it, the referee will call you back and you get to go again.
Nothing would have been more Bea Rigoni
Substitution.
had she scored off that ball.
Yes, yeah. If there is one player on the pitch that's going to do it off a bounce off the post, it's going to be her. Just cool, calm, collected.
Organised mayhem.
Okay.
So Medea
Stay short
makes
here.
way.
Yeah.
Onto the field comes Francesca Granzotto, one of the younger charges. I mean, Stevenin moves in to play more of a fly half roll as Italy smuggle it away, looking to try and find some room down the left side, but it wasn't going to be that time. Back in field it comes. Duca.
Stay.
Tunasi.
Back, back, back.
Arrighetti goes in to help secure. Stefan looks for the option. It was right up into the face of Facchini.
Ball's available.
And it's there for Stefan. Rigoni cutting back in field. Wrestling to try and maintain possession. France have a player down. Italy reload again. Locatelli. Options in the pod to the right. Looking to try and drive. Italy going in search of their try. Then for Seye. Stefan getting the call. France not quite shortened up enough for too much to be on as Ostuni Minuzzi comes over to that
Time off.
prone player, and going to have to be a call of the time off. Rigoni was also stood there sportingly protecting her French opponent. Didn't quite see who was down, Kat.
No, I didn't. But Italy there look like they're built in. They're very close to the try line. They then fling a pass back. They run round the blind side. It just does look a little bit chaotic, and that might come off, you know, 1 out of 20. But actually building a platform where you can consistently produce a score is going to be so much more important for them.
It's Marine Menage. who is just down. Yeah, she went in for that tackle and has just clearly taken a knock in the process.
Yeah, I think she's holding her face, maybe a...
You would assume she's going to have to be removed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got herself on the wrong side, so
No foul play.
imagine we may see Morgan Bourgeois. And indeed, Bourgeois is just down,
1 and 3.
getting ready to come on, but I think France are also...
Substitution.
Oh, in fact, it's Italy who are making the changes up front. So Marie Senseye making way, and Stecca and Lucia Guy coming onto the field.
Stability.
And I think that'll be followed by confirmation. Yeah, there we have Morgan Bourgeois. Top point scorer in the Elite 94 points for Bordeaux, Bourgeois. Changes then to the Italy front row as we come to scrum time, as they've knocked on the door of this French line, really for the first time in this match. Arrighetti with the carry. We're back where we were, but France may have burgled this, have they? Oh, it's still there with Italy. Duca opting to go for the other side. Sochat's trying to get her way out of there, pinned in. It's not quick ball. Escudero, body on the line. Options on the right, Italy keeping it super tight. Stefan looking at the options. Now they release Rigoni, the short one for Dinka, who's over. That's more like it from Italy. It's taken them until the 55th minute to breach the French line. But Elisa Dinka gets over. 7th try in an Italy shirt.
Yeah, such better play from the Italian side. They were really smart with how they played. They punched their numbers in, and then this is a simple, it looks like it's a wraparound play, looks like it's going to go out the back, but they hit the short line runner in Dinka, who, nice line, bit of footwork and a finish, going to be very difficult to stop from that position there. But even in the build-up to this, they've done their forwards play. France were very, very tight. There was space out wide, so then they're stretched, you find those gaps. So great play from Italy, and good to see them get over the line, because it's not good enough to either be nilled or get 3 points. Like, you need to be scoring tries to compete.
Complete.
And the conversion from Bea Rigoni gets Italy up to double figures.
Bourgeois. Merci.
33-10. Bonus point secured for France in that first half. Kewa sent it down. Nicely taken from Locatelli into Vernier. Ball was a little loose on the floor. In fact, it might turn into something here that can be used by Chambon. She just eventually met Stevanin. Calfawi on for Escudero, two of the really bright lights in that French forward pack. Kewa on for Bourgeois, offload away nicely for Fellea. And then the pick and go. And France have brought Tajani Fellea onto the field as well. Chance of the quick tap, Gros is over it. And it is, well, it's a lovely moment for the Fellea family to have Tajani onto the field. Interestingly, she plays centre at club, but very much being brought on here to play in the back row in that number 8 position. So
first try for me.
That's where they see her explosive power. 21-year-old.
Yeah, and I think when you can play in two positions, and so vastly different positions like that as well, you put yourself as really valuable into a squad. I mean, just look at Maud Muir for England being able to play loose head, tight head, hooker. You just like make a case for your position, being able to cover it and cover it really, really well. So for a 21-year-old to be playing centre and 8 internationally, and a great carry as well straight away. Really good to see.
Thank you.
Susha still toiling away, enjoying every minute, no doubt, of her 50th cap in the Parisian sunshine. Tight in with that pack as they rumble towards the line. But they've broken away here.
That's once.
Might not be the day for the Rolling Maul as far as France are concerned, as Moyembe takes up the cudgels. Locatelli has to get out of there. Then Chambon has Fellaia, accompanied by Escudero. It's another good drive by the two of them. And now the chance to possibly go. Not quite sure it's got over that time. Indeed, the call held up against Gros. Italy will have the goal line drop out.
Well, fantastic defence. They have managed to stop her from them. Yeah, really great. Block straight onto the ball, making sure she doesn't go over from the angle from where we were. Looked like Gros would go, I thought, on that, but really clever defence there.
Yeah, Vicchini. Now then, Rigoni. Is there going to be anything other than walloping this long? No, that's what she's going to do. Wondered if there might be a cheeky one into the corner. But now, popped up for Tayani Fellaia. Full of running, having come off the bench. Then it's Chambon. Kalfaoui outside. Chambon does a good job of getting through. Couldn't quite find anybody on the shoulder initially, so Kalfaoui will get there and then on for the carry. The whole of the French side is on the right-hand side of the ball here. Knocked on by Kairois, though. Fascinating there that absolutely everybody was wanting to try and flood that right-hand channel.
Yeah, flooding it round. They want it, but France not quite executing as they did in the first half here.
Italy bringing on Beatrice Veronesi.
Okay.
18th cap for the Valsugana.
Stability.
Back row.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Not a movement in the scrum. Be a free kick to Italy.
She did warn earlier over the other side. She'd be looking at sanctions if things go wrong, getting like harsher with it. Initially recalling that scrum, feeling they had the advantage in it.
I'm on the left on the mark, but she's
Head, okay.
Prior to the World Cup in 2014, Gary Street, our coach, went through all the back line saying what positions you'd cover and everybody, and it got to me. And it was like, right wing. And I was like, okay. And he was like, possibly left wing, but right wing. Like everyone else was like, yeah, centre, maybe full back or this or that. I was like, okay, stick in your lane, do what you do.
Have a specialty. Of course, our thoughts go to Gary Street and to wife Flip and their two boys with the challenge that he has health-wise. Former Rugby World Cup winning coach, of course. That's a big shove from the French 8, but Italy do have the ball out the back just in time. Rigoni bounces through Vernier. Not many people do that. Duca through the tackle.
Taken back.
Stefan may need to hear that call that it was taken back. Can't go directly to touch here and won't. Boulard. Support infield. Bourgeois plays it across. Laurence beginning to eat up the space on her way over to Condé. Well wrapped up by Stevenin. Italy defence did well there.
Stevenin's been like really on it defensively, putting in some huge hits.
Madou Soufal with another typical carry from the second row. It's coming down for Muzzo. Will it stay in field? It will. Stefan, not a lot of time. Boulard is all over her. And are France in there to effect the turnover? Yes, they are. Emmeline Gros. Well, she's got the 7 in her back that's so often synonymous with Gaëlle Aumet, who is waiting to make her impact off the bench, but that was open side perfection from Gros, the Grenoble flanker.
Yeah, I don't think Stefan will be thanking Mutsai for that one. Just a lot of, it's called a hospital pass when you give it to somebody and they've got the defence flying up at them, whereas actually got to put boot to ball there and clear that yourself.
France are eyeing up the changes, and it might be that Agathe Sochard is not going to get the chance of this line out. Indeed, Elisa Rifano coming onto the field, and Italy also making the change, Gurioli, but Agathe Sochard makes way. Wonderful player, fully deserving of the accolades with the 50 up. Now France momentarily look to engage the ball, but it's going to be Madou Soufal who engages fifth gear and crashes over the line. Very rarely see that move not work for France. Italy ready to engage in the maul defence, but it was the big frame of Madou Soufal who came round the corner. Going into this weekend, well, France had scored 5 of their 7 tries from the line out. They've certainly showed plenty of scores elsewhere, but that was classic foul. And another one on the board for France.
Yeah, well, because actually foul this game, we've not seen as much of her as you would normally. We'd normally say her name so often when we're commentating, but that it just is what she is so good at. So it's a really nice line out. Italy think they're going to drive it. They offload it round to foul, who carries, and she's a strong runner, but defensively, Italy, that was weak.
6th try for France this afternoon. Oh, off the uprights for Kewa, who will volley it away.
I've not seen that before. A kick hit the post and a volley off it. But first time for everything.
Sort of feel like if it comes back to you and you can then volley it through the post, you probably should be given it. But
yeah, I think
I'm not sure that's in the law book.
Maybe introduce the new laws. You know, when they do the next review, we'll put it forward. I second it. Yeah.
For the next 1 in 1,000 times it'll ever happen.
Yes, yeah.
So Lina Kewa makes way and gets the hug from Gaëlle Aumet. Lina Thuy will come on for a second cap, having made a debut against Ireland. There she is, Thuy. Potager have won Jessie Tremoulière at Romagna. Sees a bit of herself in her Tremoulière, joking apparently that she hopes her apprentice doesn't quite overtake the master's abilities too quickly and erase her memory. I don't think there's any danger of that for the Duchess of France in Tremoulière.
No, wonderful player, very, you know, just no one's going to forget her name.
And Lina Kewa, I mean, with Caroline Drouin injured, Kewa has looked to the manner born in that 10 shirt. Sort of similarities as Italy earned the penalty of how injury presented the opportunity for 7-star Holly Aitchison to step into that England 10 shirt, and how she has owned that. And certainly, Kewa, on a 12th cap, is looking very comfortable. Oh, the kick from Italy, not making touch. Giving the chance for France to run this one back. Chambon. Through the midfield. Tajani, Filea. Condé. Boulard. Through the hands of everybody to take it out to that wider channel. It's attacking in those wider spaces that we're seeing more in the women's game. More structure. That was nicely done. Back to Thuy on the run around. Can they get the ball away? Escudero back in that wide channel. Oh, and then the offload away for Laurence. Then it's in again. Wonderful ball playing from Les Bleus.
Balls under the blue player.
Sort of connectivity that at times has been missing during the championship, despite the 2 wins on the board going into this match. But this is beginning to look like a France side who are more and more getting the game plan right. Vernier gave it, then had to get in and protect it as Chambon comes back. Rifonneau.
On the body. Ball safe to play on, flat.
Dinka came in and made the hit. Chambon up for foul. Gets the call out the back. Plenty in the tackle still for the likes of Tunasi to get involved with. Then foul. Carrying again. Chambon had a look to the right, not the option. Bourgeois was in at first receiver, wanting to get a hand on it, and then finding Laurence. Bounded forwards. Took a bit of contact on the floor, I think, as well. So I wonder whether we might just have a moment's pause.
Yeah, that's
been down on pitch side, actually, and while it's an artificial surface, it's not one that looks like it's been brushed up too much in recent times. It's not a whole lot of give in it, not a whole lot of rubber crumb.
Attempt of a tackle, it's just
Ooh.
unfortunate.
Doesn't make great viewing that either, does it?
No, and I think the crowd are thinking there's more to it, and potentially think it's a trip.
It's not a high tackle because it's on the shoulder. It's not a high tackle in the eyes. It's just unfortunate. It's a rugby injury. There was a knock on at the base of the ruck just after that, so we're beginning with the scrum for them. Thanks, Captain.
So well explained by Joy Neville there. That's not foul play. It's just a rugby incident, and actually, as the tackle, she's pulling her down, and body. Momentum of the body then brings her, but no trip, nothing foul in it.
And it's the sort of insight that those 70 caps as an Irish international bring as a referee. And on her last test, just the sort of reason and common sense that we expect from Joy Neville. And boy, will we miss that as she hangs up the whistle. And it looks like Bea Rigoni is going to be replaced, who also sportingly wanted to congratulate Joy Neville before she left the field. Wonderful element of respect shown between the two. Capomaggi coming on, and we also see Alessandra Frangipani coming onto the field.
Time on.
Emanuela Stecker.
For you.
And we've also seen Emmeline Gros make way, and Gaëlle Hermé comes onto the field.
Height is better this side, Maria.
Former captain onto the flank. So Italy will have the scrum from the knock-on during that tackle.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Stefan, another solid Italy scrum. This pass just to try and find Astuni Manuzzi on that wide outside, who does get a decent run on. And it's there again, Stevanin playing it across, Veronesi. Going to come back to this short side. Little twist and turn, Granzotto. Excited about the future of Francesca Granzotto. She's still a youngster, but love the potential that she has. Oh, lovely sell of the dummy there from Stevanin, not quite anybody with her. Granzotto, Stecker, trying to just use the footwork to get around.
No.
The suggestion of the turnover. Feller got on the body but wasn't in a position to lift the ball. You just heard the confirmation from the referee there. Not on the ball. No chance of the turnover. Have to release the ball in rugby union when you're the player on the floor, but the opposition player is not on the ball, then get away with that one. Hermé unable to make too many metres.
Timing. Use it. Due. Noof. Stop.
Ball fired back.
Hold on.
Oh, and Dinka couldn't quite get hold of that, or was it Stefan unable to get hold of it?
Yeah, cruel bounce. Stefan then, and as we said, like with these pitches, it's great. They're not muddy, it's not boggy, and you can keep fresh legs, but bounce can be very cruel.
Cease. 6. Stimulate.
So more changes. Alessia
White ball,
Pilani
white ball.
will replace Tunesi. Aside from the yellow card, it was a pretty decent performance by Sarah Tunesi. Loves trying to free the hand through the tackle to keep momentum going.
Backwards.
Nearly lost that one, but Italy have managed to hold on to it.
Vi!
Stefan. Oh, it's out on the full.
Straight out.
Costly error.
Yeah, and again, it's those little moments that can add up and have a big difference in terms of momentum, because you think you're getting out and then suddenly it's that head down, oh, back here again. And it's those you've just got to keep chipping away at to get rid of, to give that confidence boost.
Right line out, not straight. Italy will have the option. Imagine they'll call the scrum here.
Yeah, the French line out all game's been pretty solid, but let them down there.
The last one was good. Okay. Thank you. Crouch! Bind! Set!
In from Stefan. Oh, attempted control at the base was not going to be easy, but Locatelli's done well. Missed pass to find Dinker, and then Ostuni Minucci, and have Italy got a little bit of room to run here. More on the outside from Granzotto, who got the support call eventually. Stevanin. Then Muzzo once more. Need the support there, but look at the speed at which France are getting over the ball. Wonderful from Chambon. First player in. Turnover effected.
Yeah, and it's that Italy haven't made anywhere near as many line breaks as France have, but when they have, and that was really nicely played to get it wide, get it through the hands, get round the outside. France track back, they managed to make the tackle and then get the turnover, so the work rate for them to get back, absolutely fantastic.
Oh, well, it'll be a happy shower for Asia Kalfawi, because she has been named the Guinness Women's Six Nations Player of the Match, top of the carries, managing to get a try at the start of the second half as well. And she is proving to be such a solid part of that French scrum. So Kalfawi named Player of the Match, while she takes her place on the bench.
Just.
She's been impressive, hasn't she, Kat Merchant?
Really has, you know, really stood out and just worked great again. But yeah, water in the face for her many efforts.
That's how they celebrate.
Not so bad on a hot day in Paris, but
Exactly.
Yeah.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
France from the base of the scrum. Vernier, perfectly chopped down by Capamaggi. It's there for Twee. Condé steps back into the tackle of Dinker. He's taken a bit more of a midfield role. Oh, and managed to wrestle the ball away. And
Hey on, that was just
bowls her way through Boulard.
accidental.
Then the carry from Pilani. Crossfield run from Fedrighi. French turnover.
Those turnovers really killing Italy's attack, because Italy have been starting to create things and they've got more about them. That Dinker turnover was amazing, stripped it in contact, made a good line break, but then France are just over so quickly.
Yeah, Ambre Moyembe. Superb. shutting down that Italian momentum once more.
But better from Italy to see. I know despite the turnover, they've got to get support there, but the initial kind of run and building, because actually, had that not been turned over, they did have an overlap round to that right. So if the hands are quick, they are now creating the spaces, but they've got to go back to looking after the ball, because you can't do anything without it.
Line-out will be tidied up at the back quite happily by Lucia Guy.
Stepping back.
Stefan. Not the easiest one to take, but Cat Merchant is signalling that Italy need quick ball. They do get it. Down to the right they go. Vittorio Stuni Manuzzi guilty of just slightly overrunning it in the outside channel, but Granzotto's done well, and then Stefan continuing to snipe in the 75th minute. And it comes for Veronese, who ships it on.
Oh, it's available. So stay there, stay there.
Stevanin. Potential suggestion of a high arm there, but Frangipani able to take it on. Little switch play right in the middle. That nearly worked nicely.
Committed.
Stevan in. Oh, she left it inside, but it was just a little bit too far to take. And the French turnover has meant that Muzzo's got some work to do to get back and take it. Muzzo trying to get away from the chasing Tui. And then met Madusu Fall.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's high contact.
I'm not sure anybody wants to do. Stecker. Muzzo getting up from the challenge. Stefan, I should say. Perhaps in lieu of anything else, decided to stick the ball downfield. And perhaps a few of the tired bodies out there will be pretty happy that that's got into touch, but you did just get a sense that Italy had run out of ideas, and Stefan decided to just hoof it away. It's just resulted in them with a defensive line out inside their 22.
Yeah, that 50-22.
Oh, yes,
yeah, but fantastic. Very costly for them, but beautifully weighted to get across. So France actually, with that law change, relatively new to it. But yeah, France actually now get the line out from it. And looking at the total amount of kicks then, so pretty even in those stats.
The distances from the French, though, averaging about 5 metres more than the Italian kicks each time.
But it's the chase. As we said about it earlier, actually, the main difference has been the decision-making of when to do it and the chase off the back of that. And Italy have kicked as a kick and hope most of the time, whereas France have kicked with purpose, with a good chase on it.
C'est bon. Turn on.
Over the top it goes. Lucia Guy has looked really good since she's come on. Fresher legs and solid carrying from the Italy prop. The gap's almost opening up. Stevanin did well. Then finds Dinka. Dinka trying to go either way and then backing her pace. Elisa Dinka to score Italy's second try. A wonderful solo effort, absolutely backing her pace and power. Just what you want to see. A wonderful try.
Oh, just such a finisher. Like, we maybe questioned her aerial skills in wanting to go for it, but this is an incredible finish here. That show and go absolutely does her. She cannot get across to her. Then the re-acceleration to go. That's a very, very good finish there. She can be proud of herself for that one, because there's not much on, but scanning, having a look, and it's the subtlety. That tiny little step in does enough to get the defender to be off balance, and then they can't re-accelerate, and it's something that's just, I'm obsessed with it, I really am, but that if you can hold someone, get them to slightly turn, you can do them around the outside, whereas in an out-and-out foot race, you don't know who wins that one, so controlled it really well like that.
Yeah, brilliant from Dinka. And not much finer praise than from a Rugby World Cup winning winger who trod the turf down below us herself. Conversion will just go wide, but it's a lovely second try for Italy and for Dinka.
Yeah, and that importance of they look this second half like they've believed in themselves more, whereas in the first half I don't think it was there for them. Whereas, and we did say France always start strong and then they slow down, and that is what has happened so far. France really, really need to stay switched on, because it did look like they could pull away from this, and now Italy are the ones that are clawing back.
France 38, Italy 15 then, into the final 2 minutes. Take from Muzzo. Oh, and rounds 2 or 3 of the French players. It is the nature of this French side that they do concede these points late on.
Attempts, just a knock on for me. Genuine attempt to catch the ball.
And Italy are happy to play in the face of the French side, who know they've got the result in the bag. Nice little tip on from Stecker. Oh, France nearly managing to get the turnover. Halfway line. Quick ball. Back in from Stefan.
On the shoulder for me.
Guy. Wanting to try and stay alive, stay on her feet. Oh, the little tip-on's a bit loose, and it might work out well. Vernier. Then it's away from foul. Dummy from Moyembe, who's happy to then continue pumping the legs and take a few more meters, but it just gets knocked forwards on the floor. And we'll just have a moment's
We have time to restart with the scrum.
time off there. We do have, as you hear referee say, time for one more scrum. But it's La Marseillaise that's ringing around Stade Jean-Bouin. They don't bring the women's rugby to Paris too often, but the crowd that have packed out the house this afternoon have been thoroughly treated.
Oh, the French certainly know how to host. They really do. Even just the smoke, the cannons with the French flag, just the whole atmosphere here obviously helps. It's really sunny and nice over here as well, and there's been some great rugby on display, but yeah, they're definitely good rugby hosts.
Nice, MC.
Central position then for Italy. Stefan gets the ball from Locatelli, playing in that number 8 position now. Stevenin, ball out wide for Granzotto, who was enjoying the chance to run at Conde. Now positioned over on that left wing. Back in it comes. Italy just seem like they've got more shape in this last 10 minutes or so than perhaps we saw.
More oomph. They've just really dug deep and brought something extra.
And then the little gaps are opening up as the French defence tire. It's gone forwards as France had the opportunity to win it, and in fact it's going to be a penalty.
It's a knock on in front. It's a knock on.
Italy will have the chance to continue playing if they wish to. But Sophia Stefan is just getting the question asked of her teammates. Will it be into the corner for a line out? Yeah, it will.
They do really want to play this second half. They have upped it and they've got that intensity. They had the option to tap that and kick it out, end the game, but they don't want to finish with that. They're not content with 15. Really wanting to fight to get another try.
Please, make sure you don't hit early.
It's a loose line out. It's not been the area of strength for Italy, though. And the knock-on back on the French side will bring about the end of the match. It's a final blow of the whistle from referee Joy Neville to bring an end to a contest that France have dominated, scoring 6 tries against Italy and winning by 38 points to 15. A solid player of the match nod for Asia Kalfawi, and an Italy side that really came alive in that last quarter, and perhaps need to think a little more about doing that from the first minute rather than into the last. But a really solid display from the French. They go 3 from 3 to keep their championship hopes alive. But a word once again on the end of the career as a test match referee for one Joy Neville. Confirmation then of the table as it stands. Ireland with that victory in round 3, moving them up to 3rd place in the table. And it's France and England who are unbeaten as things stand.